Hey guys, this is Reinhardt, and I had a lot of requests showing how to duel rogues. And to be honest, it's tough. It's a very tough duel, and this video is gonna be about solely how to duel and how to win against the good lucks. And from my own experience, anything below 2k rating when it comes to rogues, I usually win about 90% of the time. It goes about 50-50 when they're 2200 plus. When they're about 2800, I lose more than I win. I think I dueled Nurk and I lost about 4 or 5 duels, and I think I won about 3 to 4. But Nurk is a very good rogue, so I think I'm okay with that. I'm getting my hard count in the duels, and I'm actually getting to the point where I'm able to win some of them. And guys, I'm actually having a skill cap subscription. I had it a long time ago and I cancelled it, but they're allowing me to watch some of their videos, and I was very disappointed with the actually decay on rogue duels and the overall quality of the duel. I haven't seen a lot of skill involved, and I just don't understand that why people would actually pay for it if something that we can provide you guys for free. This is what we're trying to make. We're trying to make a free skill cap for our players. The stuff that you don't have to pay for. You know, you're trying to learn, a person's trying to learn, he's trying to get to PvP. And what, he has to pay some more real life money? A third of a subscription to World of Warcraft just so he can become decent? And there's no really even good basics? That is really sad. So anyway, now let's talk about rogues. The reason why rogues are considered to be one of the most toughest duels against us is simply put because we don't have a lot of mitigation against the physical damage, and subtly rogue is almost all physical damage. On top of that, they have 3 disables against us. They have silence, they have stun, and they have disarm. All of those timed together well will be devastating for a DK. Another thing is, even though we have a good cutting capability against them, but let's face it, they have a crippling poison, they have stuns, and they basically can just pin us down. And in fact that when you're trying to pressure them down and you actually start effectively cutting, they can just put a cloak of shadows on and vanish, and it's pretty much a GG for us. So what are we supposed to do? So the first thing what you need to do is you need to realize that Blood Presence is probably the best presence when it comes to dealing rogues. Simply put, because it gives you roughly about 8% baseline mitigation. It gives you about 10% baseline, but because of the exposed armor, I think it gives you at least 7%. And the way armor works, if you guys know, let's say for example, to go from 40% to 50% mitigation, you need like extra 10,000 armor. But let's say go from 10% to 20%, you need like extra 3k armor. So even though you use Blood Presence and exposed armor takes 70% off your armor value, you're still gonna have a decent amount of mitigation, equal to about extra 7%. And yes, I know Unholy Presence provides a bit more burst, but let's put it this way. How often would you find yourself actually milling the rogue? Nada. In fact, what you need to do is you need to be able to kite the rogue. The second thing, most of all, is you need to find a way to negate the exposed armor. The exposed armor, that's what gets you low. If you're in a Blood Presence kiting, you should not be able to do a lot of damage. But once he puts the exposed armor on you, you're done. The best way I found out, in order to actually negate that, is to place the pet right behind you. In that way, when he puts exposed armor, you stun him. If he trinkets, he wastes a trinket and you can kite him better. If he doesn't, you basically living there for 3 extra strikes with exposed armor. And that one initial pet stun mitigates about anywhere from 35 to about 50k damage. It's huge. Another thing you guys need to do is to learn when to use AMS. The good way to use AMS is usually when either you don't have a crippling poison, or when you have about 2 seconds left on a crippling poison. Even though you have some of it, it's still gonna prevent from reapplying, and you can actually kite at 150% movement speed while you keeping the change of eyes on a rogue, which is a 60% snare. The last thing I want to talk to you about, guys, is I know it's gonna be very tempting, and I know you would like to use your gargoyle and everything, and try to do damage, but you have to wait and not pop your gargoyle until Rogue uses his Cloak of Shadows, because if he won't use his Cloak of Shadows, then he can easily just vanish, sit, wait till your gargoyle expire, and then you're gonna lose, because most of your damage is gonna be lost, and your gargoyle on average should do about 44k damage. Well, let's start watching the actual duels against the 25-2600 Rogue, Nurkmind. He's amazing. So he went on me right now. He put a good road and he starts shadow dancing on me, and I'm cutting him and he instantly popped Cloak of Shadows, which is good. He wants to have that offensive pressure, and right now I'm sitting at about 40% HP and I am trying to kite him with my death coils. Luckily here I got my death advance prior him disarming me, so I actually was able to kite him relatively well. Now my pet got enraged here and he shadow stepped to me, and I'm rooting him with my pet charge and I'm getting behind him. He triggered the pet charge, but still I had such a more offensive pressure on him, and I stacked my runic power. That way I was able to actually heal myself to full. Let's watch for another one. Really quick guys, make sure you have a full runic power, and he has a DRs when it comes to stuns and growths on you, so you can actually heal. Putting my pet behind him right here, and I'm stunning him for 3 seconds. He trinkets it and he puts me in a full kidney, but I already had enough runic power and a death advance to IBF and start cutting him here, because he popped evasion and there's absolutely nothing I can do except being more frustrated and seeing those dodges at the moment. He shadow stepped to me and I popped AMS and I'm still cutting him relatively well. Now here he'll be forced to actually pop Cloak of Shadows. He put a full chip shot on me and I have Trinket, but I'm not gonna waste it. I'm getting my death advance again back and I am gonna try to kite him, but he disarmed me here. This is a good rogue, this is not a cheap ass duel. Now he popped smoke bomb here, which was very smart because he basically doesn't want my gargoyle to hit him. He popped Cloak of Shadows and he put me in a full blind. He's trying to run away, and right now he put a gouge on my pet, so he will get out of combat, and I'm lipping and I'm rooting with him with my pet right away, and he was rooted and I put a Death and Decay here and I was able to get him out of a stealth. Do you see how these duels are not about who's gonna fuck up the most, but who actually gonna come on top? My gargoyle faded away, but I still have my enraged pet, and my stun just came over, but he dodged it, and yep, that sucks. But anyway, because I was able to put a decent amount of pressure, I'm coming up on top on this duel. He vanishes, but he's still gonna lose to me through the dots right here, right now. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out the Nurk's channel, I'm gonna annotate him right now. Thank you guys for watching, and let's thrive!